What's up, guys? Barry Gaming here, back with some more Idle Heroes, and today, well, we gotta talk about yesterday. Yesterday we did some weird testing with Mutated Fungus Geester, trying him out in different scenarios. Honestly, he didn't really do that well for us, but I've been playing around with the hero a little bit more, and honestly, let's talk about this. The basic attack, while it sounds really good, dealing damage by 40% of the damage dealt, it sounds good, but the fact that he does detonate his own dots means that a Delasium team is not going to be great for him. It also means that, well, this isn't really that great. Why? Because one thing, when you take the sublimation and you take a look and see what these branches actually do, I mean, it does, if you get the noble sublimation, that's pretty cool, but what really kicks butt, really does, is this active skill, Fiery Venom. This thing hits multiple targets. It has some, additional, attack buffing and stuff like that, but if we take a look at the sublimations, increases crit by 10%. This one's here, cool. If you have Resolve, each layer will also burn the target, dealing 400% damage, and poison the target for 400% more. That's really cool. And then lastly, if Self has Resolve, each layer will deal damage to 2 random enemies. So it really starts popping off, and I really want to get him up a little bit further, but we did a little bit more investment on him. And we're going to go with him as our damage dealer once more. I think this is going to perform much, much better. So if we do... Actually, honestly, if we do the poison team that we already had here, let's just restructure this completely. Get these heroes up out of here. We definitely need Queen because, let's be honest, his damage is all coming from his active skill, basically. I'm going to put you in the very back of the row here. I want to run my Gurk, because Gurk giving holy damage is going to be amazing with this hero, because in reality, if you are spamming active abilities on him, he hits so many times. It's amazing. Drake probably isn't as necessary. Well, I don't know. The defense down versus the shrink. We could actually test that out here today. We could see which one will be better. The one downside is I really do feel like you need his core. You really need his core. We are, of course, going to go to straight up Demon Bells on everybody now, though, because we're going to go for that Demon Bell chain, making sure we have an active every single round on him. And then we're going to go with the Antlers Cane. We have Attack Stone. Full red. We're going skill damage, crit, and crit damage. Honestly, maybe even holy damage would be better. Again, you got to remember we have a really bad copy too. I kind of like this, although maybe precision would be better than skill damage. I don't know. And then, of course, we have some sublimation. We don't have his core. I do feel like this is one of those heroes where if you really want to maximize his potential, you're definitely going to need a core on him. And we're going to run the Phoenix. So in the meantime, we're just going to run the 2-star core on our hero here, and I think we're going to see better results with this style lineup, especially adding the Gherkin. I think it's going to be a big difference, and of course, getting a fully sublime active skill on him is going to be very, very good. Now, you have to remember, our damage numbers are not going to compare to most of the PvE damage videos we have on this account because, well, we just don't have Giant Killer. We don't have a full household or anything like that because we can't build another Geester even. We kind of have to just make do with what we have right now. And hopefully what we have is good enough. So using the Phoenix is good. That way we can make sure there's a burn and a poison. Granted, if we had the core, it would actually mean more, and it's kind of if you're gonna use Geester, I think you do need his core. I love his animation, though. His animation is so sweet. I wonder what his skin will look like in the weeks to come. Do you see how many times he ends up hitting the enemy over and over here? This is why he's such a cool hero. The animation is so cool. I wonder if I can get a screenshot so you guys can see what's actually going on here, too. That'd be pretty sweet. I don't know if that actually got any of them. Let me see if I can get another one here. Next round, maybe. It is getting laggy. Oh, no. We're just not able to get any screenshots of his actual animation. I'll have to grab it maybe from the actual video file where I can pause the exact frame I want. But it is pretty good. Honestly, you see how many dot damage points are going on the healers, the enemies as well. It seems pretty good. And the fact that Gurk is giving him holy damage every single time he's hitting here, I actually think holy damage might be the better pick here. Still tons of stacks of poisons and burns on all these enemies, and even bleed because we got the queen. But I think Gurk is the big buffer for him. I don't know how much Drake's going to be doing for him. I'm wondering if, I mean, I don't know, because he does hit like every target a lot. Let's see what the damage numbers are on the finale here. Final round right here. Tons of hits. It's just so many hits. Skill damage is going to be amazing on him. Holy damage is going to be amazing on him. Honestly, going for a skill damage, holy damage, or holy stone might be the best. Yeah, you see, instantly we did so much better. Now, normally what we do with our giant killer copies are in like the 400 to 500 trillion range, and we're doing about 84. If we had giant killer and a full house, I honestly think he would be a contender with the best of our heroes, including Aspen, Vesa, Vulcan, Mockman, all of them. I think he would really be doing some crazy damage numbers here, and we do have some extra attempts here today that we can actually do things too. Yeah, we did have that. The other thing is we don't even have his gear set up yet because we can't. We're missing some gear, so we're gonna have to try to take care of that as well. I'm wondering if holy damage would be a better pick for him because of how many times he hits. Honestly, actually, what is his crit and crit damage sitting at? Yeah, we could still use the crit chance, which is cool. I think maybe a different stone would be best, but let's be honest here. When it comes to resources on our account right now, we could do like one convert. We do have a second stone. I mean, maybe we get lucky. No, definitely not. Definitely don't get lucky. But yeah, overall, I think he is he is performing much better, and I do think he has one of the coolest attack animations out there as well. We could try dropping the Drake in this lineup and instead using an Olivia. Just make sure Olivia has this right here as well. All right, let's give it one more try. Then we might come back and do a different type of scenario or setup, but I think this is an okay investment because we can always just regress this hero if we don't really want to use him. It really comes down to if I end up deciding to get the core this week, and really it just comes down to if I'm going to spend the money or not. If I spend the money, cool. If I don't spend the money, we'll see. We'll see how this turns out. But yeah, it definitely has one of the coolest animations. Now, the downside of the shrink is you'd be like, well, you can have two targets shrunk at the same time. Sadly, though, you would need the Olivia to be faster than your damage dealer for that double shrink to really come into play. I wonder if there's ever a world in a game mode where there's multiple targets like this, where you make your Olivia your fastest hero. You give her a full household, you fully sublime her. Give her V4, of course. I wonder if she could be faster than some of these big damage dealers, especially if you're using something like a speed stone. You might need a speed artifact as well, which might disrupt the energy feed, but it could be interesting to have two targets shrunk at the same time, taking what, 60% more damage and dealing 40% less. I think that's what it is when you're at fully V4. But honestly, he is one of the most satisfying attacks since Vulcan, in my opinion. I love Vulcan's big AoE attack still. It just looks really cool, and his looks almost even better. It literally looks like, if you've seen the Idle Heroes ads, guys, the Idle Heroes ads where it's like you're doing crazy amounts of damage, that's actually this hero doing these crazy attack animations, because this is the type of animation you always see in those little crazy ads. He actually does it. So let's see how this damage ends up in the final rounds. I mean, he does apply tons of burns and bleed and poisons. He's never going to detonate them when he drops below 50%. He did get a basic attack there, which is really weird when sometimes he actually gets a basic. I don't know what's triggering that. Last round of damage, so many hits. And honestly, if you have him fully sublimed, you're gonna do even more damage because so many of his passives have these little added bonuses and stuff. Yeah, there we go. He did better with the Olivia. So I think he is definitely a good hero to use in a PvE damage scenario. The question is, do we care about older PvE modes like that? Like, is that even relevant? I don't know. We'll keep working, try to sublime him more, try to get him leveled up even more. Hopefully you guys enjoy this one. I'll see you guys next time.